All right, Junior. So here's 700cc motor. Okay, this one I've been cleaning it up. It's all cleaned up. Here's the other 700cc motor that I have. I haven't cleaned it up yet. See the difference? Okay, there's a good clean piston. There's a clean piston. There's a clean reed. Okay. There's the generator that charges the battery, and it makes spark for the spark plugs. That one I cleaned up. This one I haven't cleaned yet. Look at it. There's the power box. That's the ignition. And there's the ignition for that one. How dirty that is. Alright. And there's the crankshaft for this motor. That's a 772 stroke. Well, that's a little bit smaller than yours. So Rick, you know I've been working on these two-stroke 770s. So this one was the worst of the two. Alright, I built some block offs for it. I honed out the cylinders. This one, I remember, was 30 psi in a compression test. That one was 0. This motor had overheated. So this is the culprit of that. The piston ring was seized. As a result, I got 0 compression. Look at all the scarring and everything. So I honed this. I took the 2 good pistons, one from this motor, that motor, one of the pistons had a hole in it. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around here. I took it to work and I welded it. Oh, there it is. This machine was doing 50 miles an hour easily till the hole went into it. I took it to work and welded it just to see if I can do anything with it. I've since reassembled it, sealed it. I made some gaskets to test this head, and these are my compression results. It's 140 on the bad one, 140 versus 0, and 150 on the good one. So I got 125 with the jet ski battery, and 150, or sorry, rather 130 with the jet ski battery. This is the one that had 0. This one had 30 psi when I got it. Now it has 150. So the reason why you see 150 here is because I used the truck battery. So needless to say, this motor's almost 90% of where it was. I mean, it's less, I don't know, probably about a 10% difference between the two, which is, well, this is supposed to be a 90 horse motor. So what that'll translate to as probably about, the rating was 55 miles an hour, which is pretty darn good with the 770. This is the other 770. I'm just going to buy new pistons for it. And then when that's all said and done, there's the crank house for the other 770. This is 1000cc. That's going to be my ultimate That's supposed to be, it's funny, 90 horse for this little guy, which I can build on a bench because they're that small. They're still heavy. This is like 150 pounds. That's it without the crank housing on it. Good to have two motors to compare. There's the CDI box, which I was able to do the compression test with. I blocked off the oil injector because I suspect that the oiling system in this failed. The oil gets mixed with the gas right here, right behind the carburetors. It goes into here, gets shoved up into here, the piston grabs that, ignites it, burns it back down. That's why you saw that scarring with this. The inside of the cylinder looked the same. It doesn't look like that now. I honed the hell out of it. So the only thing that stops me from, I got to take this motor apart again and put all those parts back on the crank that you saw over there. Put this head on that with the proper, these are homemade gaskets. This is just so, am I wasting my money? Because the seals, these are crank seals. These are the original ones. It's almost $100 for a set of these for one of these motors. Am I going to spend $100 to find out after it's no good? Am I going to put this in the boat and find out it's no good? No, I'm going to do all the tests right now. So knowing that this makes those numbers, it's worth it. And this is another learning experience for me because I'm not an engine mechanic. I'm just a guy that watches a lot of YouTube. And the only other reason I like this is because it's a Japanese-made motor. These little motors are really good. The reason why they have so much problems is because of this oil injection setup. So I've eliminated that. There's the cap that I made for it. I'm just going to mix the gas and put it into the boat. I'm going to drill these out, put bolts in them to clog it up so there's no air escape. I had to make reed valve gaskets, but I will get the proper gaskets and reassemble this thing. And these numbers will change. This is 140. That's 150 from a cylinder that made 0 and 30. So that's my next crazy project. This is, thus far, this is a success. But you won't know until, because I got to rebuild the carbs. I'm going to rebuild the starter, put it back together, put it in the water, and that's when you know if you did it properly, when you use it full out. And after it's seen about 60 to 100 hours of use, then you know you've done a successful job. So this is all a work in progress, which I don't mind doing because I'm up north all the time. I'm sitting at home right now doing nothing, so this is just another thing I can add to my experiences. Figuring out how to build these batteries. And the last bike I built, I charged the battery for it 4 months ago, and it's still got power in it. The 770, what is that, the 750 watt? That's the best motor out of all of them. Anyways, okay. Take care, Rick. There's my update.